everybody. My name is Russ. That is Lauren. Welcome to our Thursday music discussion video. And today is kind of a fun one that I'm shocked I haven't done on this channel yet. And I actually like went back and searched our own channel to be like, did I? Nope. And nope, I didn't. I need to like sometime when I get a chance, like now that the internet exists and there's so many databases that are like easy to like scan and whatnot, I need to like go back and figure this out. But I'm pretty sure I've been to at least 1,000 concerts, if not more, in my life. And I have so many just amazing concert memories that like things other people like were big names that like 5 other people were in the room for, that to me counts as a concert because you saw somebody, you know, perform for other people, to being in, you know, football stadiums full of people and in special situations and whatnot. But I don't know. I almost called this video 5 of my favorite or my 5 favorite. And, you know, I don't know, even as 5 as amazing as these are going to be, I don't even know if I could call these my 5 favorite. I don't think I could say I have, you know, my 5 favorite. I'm overly fortunate to have just a ridiculous amount of incredible concert memories. So these are 5 incredible concert memories that I have. Bonus points, there's probably going to be at least some choking up going on here for at least a couple of these. So you know, and this was literally the first 5 that came to my mind. Like I literally was like, I'm literally just going to be like, oh, this, and this, whatever comes to my mind.
Sure.
First.
That's the way to do it.
And there's no rhyme or reason to these. These are just like, and even the first one, when I was done with this, but these are the first 5 that came to my mind, but they're not the order that they came to my mind. And if that makes sense, I just rearranged them afterwards because I didn't want to make it seem, I on purpose, like kind of mixed them up.
Sure.
Because I didn't want to make it seem like there was importance, because none of these are more important than another. The first one that I wanted to share is, the Palace of Auburn Hills, October 1988. The King of Pop, Michael Jackson, did several shows in the Palace of Auburn Hills. It was one of the last runs on the Bad Tour where they still had him in arenas before finally they were like, this needs to be stadiums. Like this is, you know, they're like, we can stop in a city for 2 or 3 nights and sell 300,000 tickets instead of being in a city for 2 weeks and doing the same amount, you know. I can't remember. I want to say there were like six shows in Detroit, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I was at one of them. But anyways, my mom, you know, went through everything that you had to do to go to, you know, it's just, I mean, Michael Jackson was beyond a worldwide phenomenon at that time. And we were in Detroit, which is, a couple of things. Number one, it's Detroit, Motown. So very connected to the Jacksons in the first place. On top of that, it's a major music market. It's several hours drive from Chicago, which in between those 2 cities is Gary, Indiana, where the Jacksons grew up. It's drivable distance between New York. All this to say that like people who could not get tickets to those other markets also would have been trying for, you know what I mean? So this woman did not have an easy time getting these tickets. Right. But you know, I was, it's hard to describe. I wasn't even like starstruck. Like I wasn't over excited or anything. Like I just was like, this is going to be amazing. Like, you know, I'd seen all the footage and everything and, you know, it just was so excited for the whole show. And I don't think I had seen any bad concert footage yet, at the time. Cause he was in, October of 88. I don't think there was any, you know, the internet wasn't around, so I don't think there was any concert footage floating around, but we'd seen all the videos and all that stuff, the short films and everything. But anyways, so we had side stage tickets. If you look at any seat map, like, you know, when you have the stage there, we were up on the stage left. So if Michael's looking out at the audience, we were like up here on the side of the stage. So the tickets that she got, you know, if she would have got like good seats, we would have been like way on the other side of the arena in the lower bowl, you know, but where we were on the side of the stage, which were like discounted tickets because it was going to be like on the side and you were going to see, quote, the whole show, but we were like closer to him than. So anyway, so he comes out and he opens with "Wanna Be Starting Something," and he like moves all the way to ice on stage. So, I mean, we're like, I don't know, 200 feet away from Michael Jackson. And he points in our general direction, and I just fainted. I mean, I just went down. Like, I mean, and it's hard to describe. Like, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I was as a kid. Like, I was there. I saw the whole Thriller thing, like worldwide domination. Like, and I was excited, but I wasn't like overly excited or anything. Like, I wasn't like when you watch footage back then, when you see people like grown men, like ripping their hair out and stuff. Like, I was like excited, but I wasn't like overexcited. And literally when he pointed, my whole brain was just like, nope. And I went down. And, the next memory that I have after that is, I remember coming to in, first aid and just being like, what in the crap, and, I remember clearly, seeing my mom freaking out, obviously, and first aid is all like, oh boy, do we think he's going to live, And then I remember the next memory I have is hearing another part of me and being like, I have to go. And then I ran out of first aid. And then like, it was pretty much like an 80s comedy after that. Like everyone with any sort of authority, like ran after me. And then my mom ran after them. And then I ran back up to our seats because I'm like, but Michael Jackson's on stage, and then they all ran up after the seats. And then my mom started yelling at them. And then security started yelling at everybody. And then a bunch of fans started yelling at everyone else. And then the security made everyone but me go back down so they could all yell at each other in the corridor, right? Because Michael Jackson's on stage,
sure.
Right? So then I just sat there watching him finish another part of me. And then my mom came back up and I was like, well, what's going on? And she's like, I told them they can go to hell and they're going to wait till this concert's over. Because they needed her to sign a waiver that says if I die, that's not the Palace's fault. Because I walked away after I hit my head.
Yep.
I'm alive, by the way, ish. But anyways, I just love that memory.
Yeah,
because it's hard to describe it. Like I absolutely was not going to be like, there was no like chance I'm going to faint. But as soon as he pointed, I was just like, bye.
Boom.
Yeah. The other one, Van Halen, same venue. The Palace of Auburn Hills, didn't faint this time. 2007, David Lee Roth back with the band. Now here's the fun little bonus thing of this. So I wanted to get as close as possible. I have, before anybody goes, oh my God damn it. No, the first time I ever saw him was with Hagar. I love both Sammy and Dave. This is not a Sammy's better than Dave thing. But when I got into Van Halen as a kid, it was on Dave. I love Dave so much. I always wanted to see them with him. I got into them on Diver Down. Then they put out 1984 and then they broke up. And so I never had, the first concert I went to was in 87 after, they were coming up on putting out OU812. So I had no chance of seeing them with Dave, First time I saw them, first 3 times I saw them was with Sammy, which were all awesome. But I just, all I wanted in life was to see David Lee Roth front Van Halen at least once, So 2007 comes around, they go to tour with them, and I wanted front row like you wouldn't believe. And again, this is before the internet. This is before everything gets spoiled for you now. I mean, this wasn't before the internet, but everything now there's instant access to everything. And even in 2007, it wasn't like that. And so I went and bought tickets, and the closest I could get to the stage was 11th row. And I was like, well, whatever. I'm still going to be close to them, And then we got to the show, and I can show you this on YouTube now. The way the stage is set, there was not a catwalk, but there was like a big thing that came out, a circular thing that came out. It was a catwalk, I guess, but it came out that circled out. So 11th row ended up being front row because that circled in. So the first 10 rows were inside that. And then 11th row was there. So Dave, Eddie, and Wolf the whole night were, right here.
That's cool.
So, they open and they're, 10 rows away. And then inside of one song, David Lee Roth is standing right there, and I was just like, whatever, 9-year-old me that bought 1984. It's just like, this is the greatest day in the history of the world, and Dave's just Dave, got barely singing, and only because he's got to get his hands back on his hips so he can be doing this instead of singing, and people around us are just like, God damn it, Dave's terrible. And I'm like, you will hush up, fantastic. The next one, just up the road a pace from the Palace of Auburn Hills, Pine Knob Music Amphitheater. And you were here for this one.
I was at that one.
As a person who was once embarrassed out of Aspen Records at Telegraph Road, just south of M59, for buying a Weird Al Yankovic record, as a person who went to Weird Al concerts in 200 seaters in Detroit, where I couldn't get even one friend to go with me. And we went there and it wasn't sold out. As a person who could walk into any gas station in the 90s and get pick up handfuls of free Weird Al tickets to go to Meadowbrook Amphitheater, which seats, I think, 7,700 people. And then went around and said, yeah, anybody want to go see, doesn't he do? No, I don't want to go to that. To within months of this video being filmed, waltz into a sold out Pine Knob Music Theater, 15,000 plus, and fully sold out, people everywhere. I've seen in that venue, I've seen the Mighty Van Halen, I've seen Metallica, I've seen Depeche Mode, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, Weird Al Yankovic. Like, and you may say to yourself, like, Metallica is my band. I saw that. Yeah. You've never had to beg someone to go to a Metallica show and be turned down by every single person that you know. You've never walked into a 200 seater and have it not sold out. Like, you don't know what it's like to be the champion of an artist for 30 years and have everybody make fun of you for it. And then literally he hasn't even put out a record in a decade. And now suddenly he's selling out the biggest amphitheater in the entire Northeast US. And it's your favorite amphitheater. It's the one that when you were a kid, you were like dreaming about him playing, and he's sold it out, and everyone is singing along to eBay, for crying out loud. Like, not like people are singing along to Nirvana, but like eBay, and that's the thing. And insert name here is the thing. If you're hearing me talk about this and you're like, I can't believe he's, it's that Silver Lining. So I can't believe they're getting so excited about a 5. Like if Weird Al's is a 5 to you, like, insert your artist here and understand what a big deal that is. Like, I don't mind telling you that when he opened with Tacky, like, I was full on ugly crying, like, because this is my guy. Like, I'm rooting for my guy, and like, it's just a special thing to be standing there in the middle of all that. And then, I started going to concerts at Pine Knob when I was 16 or 17 years old, and to be standing in the pavilion in a sold out Pine Knob, and my son is 19 years old standing on the lawn with a giant group of his friends when I couldn't get my friends to go to Weird Al.
Yeah,
that's up
something,
there, moving on. I had the pleasure of seeing Prince Rogers Nelson 4 times in concert before he left us, and they were all awesome concerts for different reasons. And I could tell you, I was just telling Lauren the other day about when I saw him do the ride once, and I said, that thing where you go, well, how did the guy fall out of the stands and die? That's a story for a different video. I almost fell out of the stands and died when Prince was playing the ride at Joe Louis Arena. This story's got a bit of a different flavor to it. And you might be like, well, why is that an incredible memory? It's something that sticks with me. The last time that I saw Prince in concert was about a year before he passed. And I'm fortunate enough to be people who know people. And if you've heard a soundboard bootleg of that concert that is floating around the internet, I have this to say to you. You're welcome, because about a month after that concert occurred, a person who knows me very well, that was not supposed to give that audio to anyone, gave that audio to me, and I gave it to the rest of the internet. Prince played that night like he was 25 years old, and the whole show was incredible to see. And the part for me that is it's so bittersweet, but it's an incredible thing to remember is, and it's part of why I love the artist that I do is, if you listen to the version of Nothing Compares to You, and if you haven't heard this bootleg, by the way, you should, open up another tab while I'm talking and look for this. Don't play it yet, but, look for it. Just type in, Detroit Prince Fox Theater 2015. I assure you it's on YouTube. And then when this video is done, drop a like on the video and then go over to that tab. And I would tell you to play the whole show. And then I assure you every 3 minutes, you could be like, son of a bitch, he was at that show. Yep. But when you get to the end of Nothing Compares to You, when Prince says that Detroit, you have a beautiful city and beautiful people, please take care of it so I can come back. It's weird because it's very jarring because he goes into Kiss, and it's like, but in that moment, we were all just like, yay, but when you listen to it now and, as Community is a huge part of who I am. And I Detroit, I'm very defensive of. Jacksonville, I'm very defensive of. And I think that people need to remember that, like, while you're here, you need to have that kind of impact and have, and here's a guy, Prince, who is so closely associated with Minneapolis and doesn't really have to say much in behalf of Detroit. And the fact that night he, said that really meant a lot to us in that moment. And it's something that I listened to a lot. And I've always loved that song. I mean, well, obviously everyone loves that song, but I've always loved that song. And to have that special moment on there and, and I could, every time I listen to it, I can see him. I mean, he was standing right there. I can see it. It's really something. So it's just an incredible concert memory. The last one that I'm going to share is, if I was going to say like favorite memory of all time, this would probably be it. Inarguably my favorite band of all time is Pink Floyd. Unless somebody invents some incredible music real fast, it's never going to change. I never got to see the original Pink Floyd altogether. I've seen David Gilmour's version twice. I've seen Roger Waters on his own a bunch in person. I've seen Dave on his own once, but I never saw all of them together. However, I became a Pink Floyd fan when they released The Delicate Sound of Thunder. So they had already finished touring for Momentary Lapse of Reason and hadn't put out The Division Bell yet, obviously. So when they put out The Division Bell in early 1994, I was like, they're going to tour for this. When they tour for this, I don't care. If they played Detroit for an entire month, I'm going every night. Like, I don't care. And so anyways, they played the Pontiac Silverdome 2 nights, July 14th and 15th. It was a Thursday and a Friday. And it was interesting is every single person that I know, I had at the time, I had a circle of friends that was probably, 40 people or so. And about half my friends bought tickets to Thursday night and half my friends bought tickets to Friday night. And I was the only person that bought tickets to both nights. And almost everybody that I knew was like, why would you buy tickets to both nights? And they were all huge Pink Floyd fans. But Pink Floyd is one of those bands, and especially with their whole getup, they're infamous for doing exactly the same show every single night. Everybody was like, well, why would you go to, like, why are you paying, which, by the way, their ticket prices are outrageous, which are, if you're ready for this, it's $35.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So this was, ridiculous ticket prices, including fees, by the way. And my thought was, well, first of all, it's my money. I'll do what I want with it. I'll take my Burger King money and do, cause I was working at Burger King, and I will do with what I please with my Burger King money. And second of all, my thing was, and this became important, I was like, I don't know when I'll get to see Pink Floyd again. I don't know when their next record's coming out. I don't know when they're going to tour again. Like, I'm going to go see Pink Floyd 2 times in a row. Like, what if I never get to see him again?
Right.
Spoiler alert, Pink Floyd never toured again. So it was the only time I ever got to see Rick Wright and play the keyboard live. And I got to see him 2 nights in a row. Then something even bigger happened, though. So we went the first night, July 14th, and it was incredible. I don't want to discount that night at all. It was absolutely incredible. It was a quote standard night on the Division Bell tour. On top of that, they did Pulls Apart from the Division Bell, which was only like, they only did that song like 3 times on the whole tour, and they did it the first night. But anyways, with the way they were opening the tour every night, they were opening the first set with Astronomy Domine from the first album. I don't think that's on the first album. Anyways, from the 1967. And then they were doing everything normal. And then they were opening the second set with Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And both sets were kind of like hits mixed with new songs. And then they were just doing their encore and being done. So the second night, and I mean every tour date from the tour opened in March all the way up till July, they were doing exactly the same set. They swap out like some nights they did like pulls apart.
Okay.
But every single night they were opening the first set with the one thing. And then so the second night I get there and they opened the first set with Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And I was like, what in the hell?
Curious.
Mm-hmm. And then after Shine On, they do this, the whole first set the same as it was the first night, except they didn't do Pulls Apart. And so I was like, well, that's weird. So then they open the second set, and I'm like, oh, well, there's open with Johnny Domine, right?
Right.
But they opened the second set with Speak to Me and Breathe, which they had been playing Breathe in the set normally. So I was like, well, that's really weird. To like, okay, well, then they didn't even play Johnny Domine. It was weird. So then they do On the Run, which was also in the set normally, but never were they playing it back to back.
Right.
Then they do Time, which was also in the set, but had never been in that order. Then they did Great Gig in the Sky.
And then did your brain start doing things?
Nope. Hold on. No. Oh no. This is gonna get real dumb on my part. So then they do Great Gig in the Sky. Then they do Money. Then they do Us and Them. Then I turned to my friend and I said, because they had not done all of those songs, they had done not in order, but they had done at various points since 1975. But they had never performed Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, or Eclipse ever since 75, let alone in any sort of order. So I turned to my friend and I said, this is going to be really dumb when they suddenly don't do Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, and Eclipse.
And
it turns out they were not dumb. For the first time since 1975, the year I was born, which I assume means they were waiting for me.
Probably.
They played Any Color You Like, Brain Damage, and Eclipse, completing Pink Floyd playing The Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety for the first time since 1975, July 15th, 1994. Before anybody who was at the New Jersey show, July 18th, 1994, comments, go back to Wikipedia, you're wrong. It was July 15th, 1994, where it happened the first time. I was standing there when it happened. I have been battling that crap for 30 years.
We'll leave it to New Jersey.
I mean, but anyways, I literally, when they finished and you literally, and sure as shit there's no Dark Side of the Moon, really. I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Right. And no cell phones, no internet, no nothing. Right. So be me talking to my friends the next day. Right. Dude, you totally should have been there. Oh, well, I mean, what did they do something instead of what they do? Great Day for Freedom instead of Pulls Apart? No, they did the entire Dark Side of the Moon instead. No, they did not. What was I going to do? Pull up, go to YouTube, Nope. Had to wait for an issue of Rolling Stone the next month to prove it.
That's a bummer.
Because the dude who was standing next to me was a dude that I knew from a friend's work company that none of them knew. So like, even if I had been like, tell them, they would have been like, we don't know that dude, but it was incredible and it happened and I was standing there for it.
Beautiful thing.
To quote Marty DeBerge, enough of my yakking. That has been, I don't know, at least 20 minutes of me going on about some incredible concert memories. And I assure you that's the tip of the iceberg. It's a ridiculous embarrassment of riches up here of an amazing amount of concert memories that I've been there. If you listen to any of these at all, by all means, drop a comment. Tell me some of your favorite memories of concerts that you've been to. And just cool things that happen. Doesn't have to be anything, like, oh my God, I saw Pink Floyd do this, that, or like just any concert memory that you love. I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. I don't know, maybe you should probably do one of these.
I might.
Which I'm pretty sure you're going to match up on the Weird Al
just
one.
the one.
Yeah.
I should just do my top 5 Weird Al concerts.
That's fine too. If you would please drop a like on the video, that helps us out. Drop your concert memories because that is what we want to hear. That's Lauren. My name is Russ. Thanks for watching.